Chris Lloyd, good to see you. Hey, Carla, what's up? Rabel and Lucia and Anna, good to see you. What's up, Gwen? How are you? Hey, Michael Leonard. David Carlson, what's going on? Hey, Chris, Bowden, Audra, always good to see you. Hey, guys, what's up? Welcome to Inner Circle. It's a bit of a crazy week, if I have to say so myself, prepping for the Time to Thrive Challenge. It is insane. We are almost at 500,000 people registered for the Time to Thrive Challenge, which is unbelievable, and we are so blessed. And we are going to fight, kick, claw, and scream to try to get to 1 million. Good to see you, Jess Beyer. We're going to do everything in our power because people need us right now more than ever. Right? To have 5 full days with Tony and myself. And did you guys, are you guys signed up for the Time to Thrive Challenge? Raise your hand if you're already signed up. Awesome. If you're not, make sure you go sign up today. You are our guest. Look at the people that are coming. Mike, could you pull this up? I see it on the screen. This is not something I'm teaching you today. But look at the cool guests that are coming. Not only Lisa Nichols and Jenna, which are amazing, but we got Matthew McConaughey coming. How cool is that? I mean, if you read Green Lights, he's in our industry. And behind the scenes, we're kind of working on something cool with him. So we have a meeting on it today. Who would love to have a course with Matthew McConaughey on the foundation of green light? Not about how to be an actor, but some of the things he's done has been amazing. And we got Russell and Glo Atanmo and my dear friend Brendan Bouchard and Alex Hermosi, who's doing amazing teaching marketing. And we have Rachel Miller, who's found a strategy online that's so good. Anyway, you can pull that down. I'm so excited about this. And it does, I have to say, I'm working harder right now than ever before in my life. I wanted to be with you guys before the challenge, so after the challenge, I could just lay down, like maybe on the floor here and pass out for, 3 days straight. I mean, I started at 4:30 this morning. I got done last night at 10, ate dinner, kind of cross-eyed and went to sleep. But when you love what you do, and this is the gift I hope each and every one of you could have, when you love what you do so much, I don't know, what else could you fight for to give people capabilities at a time when they need it the most? Right? I mean, this is a crazy world. I had an amazing interview, and I'm going to get to what I'm teaching. First off, Inner Circle family, welcome. So many of you have been with me for a decade nearly. Some of you are brand new. Some of you are part of Mastermind. That's why you're here. This is family. So sometimes I go a little long in the beginning because I'm just sharing what's going on in my heart and my head. I don't feel like the urgency of getting right in it because I want you guys to get to know me more. I want to get you to know you guys more. This is what Inner Circle is all about. It's my Inner Circle family. I say this all the time, but I have different groups. Sometimes I'm on with our people from Mastermind and sometimes from our High Ticket Academy and sometimes Inner Circle. And not that I'm different people, but this is like home. You guys have been with me for so long. Here's a true story. You guys don't realize this one. We launched this originally almost a decade ago. We launched it at $97 a month. And my team said, way too inexpensive. It's got to go up. I'm like, let's just launch it at $97 for a year. And then we'll raise it up if people want. And I've never touched it. In fact, a lot of you pay way less. You pay less to be a part of Mastermind, and you're in here because this is just an amazing group, and people stay forever, and I never want to touch it. So I'm not messing with it. Just so you guys know, it's not going up. If you're a part of Mastermind, you'll get this training every single month, and you have access to the old trainings like a library. It's like Netflix for mindset, marketing, and momentum. So don't forget, you can always go back and look at previous trainings. The value is there. And if you don't know how to find them, just send a text or send an email to our team, and I'll let you know how to find the previous trainings. But today, I thought what I would love to do, and I know I'm digressing a little bit, but what I thought I'd do with this group is kind of pull back the curtain on what we're doing with this challenge. Because a challenge seems, when you see somebody like Tony and I doing one, it seems like, oh my God, yeah, of course they're doing a challenge with 1 million people. But a challenge is like an accordion. And so many of our students entering this industry kick it off with a challenge. If you remember Maya's story, and Maya might be here today, Maya's story, she did her first, it's how she launched her training, was through a challenge, and so many others. And I think her first one had 50 people in it, and it was over 3 days, and it was just an hour a day, 3 days, an hour each, and she did it on Facebook, in a Facebook group, right? So she just came, so what I thought I'd do today, if you guys are cool with it, I am going to go through and break down exactly what we're doing with our challenge, kind of behind the scenes. Now, some of you, this might seem like, oh, I don't know when I could get to that. I'm going to encourage you to realize we can all do this. And would it be worth, and please put this in the chat, would it be worth doing a challenge for 3 days, an hour a day, if just one person's life was impacted? Just one person found a better path. One person saved time. One person ate better, lived better, loved better, fixed their health, found hope, found inner peace, found God, found plant-based food, found yoga, learned how to sell better, like all the different things you do. Would it be worth it? Look at, oh my God, what an amazing group. Look at Lewis and Autumn and Federica and Marcus and Danielle and Sue and CJ and Jess and Ralph and Omni and Alexis and Alexa and Michael. Of course it would be if it was just one person. So if we take that into consideration, that if we did this and one person's life would be changed, then you get the same enthusiasm I do, because I'm like a little kid. I am so excited for this challenge. I am prepping obsessively because I want to deliver massive value. And this is what I want you to write down today. What's great about a challenge is that you get to deliver value in advance, right? So some of you, if you're really honest, those of you in the self-education industry, about to get in the self-education industry, who's a little nervous about, who would really buy from me? Raise your hand if you're like, who would buy from me, right? I see you, Carolyn. Thank you for being honest, right? You think about that. I see you, David. You guys, think about this. What if you had a way to deliver so much value in advance that you barely had to ask for the sale? People were more like, damn, if she gave me that much for free, imagine what I'd get if I got her course or her workshop or worked with her on Zoom or let her coach me. Right? Think about that. And that's why I love a challenge, and we call it a challenge. It could be a master class, could be a boot camp, could be whatever you want to call it. We call it a challenge because I like the fact of challenging people to take action. During the 5 days, we're going to challenge people to take uncomfortable action every night. We're going to challenge them to show up. We're going to challenge them to think differently. We're going to challenge them to bust old limiting beliefs. So if we're going to challenge them, why not call it a challenge, right? But I want you to think about this. I want to tell you, so I'm going to digress here. Again, your family, this is not overly structured. I got a new fancy whiteboard I can't wait to show you. I have my notes. But I'm going to tell you a little story. Tony and I are friends for over a decade. Somebody introduced us 10, 12 years ago. He scheduled like a half hour for me on a meeting where it was just going to be a handshake. Something hit off between us. Like, we felt like brothers in 5 minutes. And he literally canceled the next meeting and then canceled the next meeting. We ended up spending 8 hours together. And we've been friends ever since. And we hit it off so well that within a short period of time, I saw so many people wanting to be partners with Tony that I said to myself, I'm not going to go there. We're friends. I'm going to leave it as a friendship. I'm never bringing up I was already successful. He was massively successful. We didn't need each other. So let's be friends. So we spent almost a decade building this bond and this friendship. And we leave voice memos for each other almost every night. He leaves me one about, he's nuts, by the way. He leaves me one about 4 a.m. every night. Yeah, he goes to bed at 4 or 5 every night. I get up at 4:30. So we joke and say we have the world covered 24 hours a day, right? So when he's going to bed, he leaves me a message. I get it, my morning walk, I listen. I leave him an audio. That's our relationship. We've built our relationship 90% on voice memos for a decade, and then we talk once a week on the phone. I'm telling you this for a reason. Because 4 years ago, we had been talking about self-education so much. You know this story, so I'm not going to beat it up. But behind the scenes, I'm like, if we're going to do something, let's do something that fills our heart. What fills our heart more than anything? Self-education. Jim Rohn changed his life. He changed my life. I'm like, let's do something to show people that it's not for other people anymore. It's for everyone. Listen, I want you to hear something. This industry, Google it tonight. This industry is heading, they're saying, to $1 trillion a year industry by 2028. $1 trillion a year. Right now, it's at about $1 billion a day. 4 years ago, when we launched KBB, it was about $100 million a day. It's gone up almost 10 times in 4 or 5 years. This industry is going like this. And guess what? My business didn't go 10, 20 times bigger. Tony's didn't go 10 or 20 times bigger. It's not the Tonys and the Deans. It's you. It's Jess and Sue and Federica and Cyrene and Youssef and Michael. It's regular. It's Omni, right? Getting in and sharing what you know. This business is being fueled by all of us collectively realizing that this in here is more valuable than maybe any other asset we have. Does that make sense? You guys really hear this, right? So we decide to go all in. And like, let's build a company and let's pull back the curtain and let's bring people in. Let's build a family. Let's teach people. We bought mastermind.com and we went to work. We launched year one with KBB. And some of you are KBB family members, right? And we did about a 3-hour training. Thank you, Youssef. Good to have you with us all this long. And Michelle, right? We did about a 3-hour training year one, if you remember. And then we offered KBB. It was unbelievable. It was the biggest launch in internet history. Year two, Tony's like, can we deliver more? Okay, so we went like 4 hours, year two. And we get together on year three. He's like, man, people, if you know anything about Tony, he can't help. They call it Tony time. Tony says, I'm going to go for an hour. Never in a million years will Tony go an hour. He cannot go an hour because people need more of him and he knows it and he feels it. I was at an event with him a month ago where he was scheduled on stage for an hour and a half. He went 5 hours. But he lit it up. Not one person moved. It wasn't like they were like, oh, this guy's 3 hours in. Everybody was like, when the 5 hours were over, they're like, no, please come back, right? Anyway, year three, I see, Dennis, you wrote Own Your Future. Year three, Tony's like, how do we make it longer? We decided to do a 5-day challenge. Delivering more value in advance. And on day 3, we offered Project Next. And not to say the rest is history, but it was unbelievable. And so many of you are part of Project Next and a part of our family, and we got to help shift your lives, right? But we made this 5 days so powerful with this challenge and deliver so much value that here's the thing I want you to hear. And this, you guys are my family. I want to give you this. At the end of 5 days, at the end of 3 days when we make the offer, and then next day we teach, and next day we teach, nobody says, I can't believe these bastards are selling me something, right? You just won't see it in the chat, right? What you see in the chat is, thank you, this is amazing. Hell yes, I'm going all in. Or thank you, this is amazing. Let me think about it. Or no, all the answers are fine. But I know at the end of the 5 days, all it is thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, I'm in, thank you, maybe I'm in, thank you, not for me, right? So think about that. How cool would it feel to deliver 3 days, an hour a day, 5 days, 2 hours a day, 1 day for 2 hours, deliver so much value that at the end people go, hell yes, I'm working with her, or maybe next time, right? Do you understand why we love doing these challenges? Why we go all in? Like, we're not kind of all in. Do you know what it's like to put 1 million people together? It's not an easy task. But what I thought I'd do today, thank you for all the amazing comments, guys. What I want to share with you today is on my fancy whiteboard here, I'm going to take you through the whole challenge. We got about 45 minutes. I might go a little longer. You guys in to see all of it? And put your hand up and say, I'm all in. Put it in the chat, I'm all in. And what I want to share with you, please, I'm going to say this in advance. Do not get overwhelmed by what I'm teaching you. This is a training you will have for life. And there's going to be, I promise, a time where you can come back to this video and plus everything you get in our trainings. I love it. A lot of all in. That you can come back and this will fit perfectly in your life, in your career, in your launch. Remember, it's an accordion. 1 million people or 50. It's the same thing, right? So I hope you're a part of the challenge. Today, if you didn't already register, you must. Go to timetothrivechallenge.com. Register and go through all of it. I tell you this, but I'm telling you again, look at the emails that we send you. Look at the opt-in page. Check the messaging. Look at the VIP upsell. Look at the confirmation video. Look at the pre-value videos. Watch all of it and document it. I'm going to go through it, but no, remember, we're in the same business, right? And you get to model what we're doing. So that's my thoughts for today is I'm going to go to the whiteboard, my new fancy whiteboard. And you got to excuse my sloppy writing. I'm going to take you through the whole process. Put any thoughts you have, if like going too fast, explain that again. I love this, whatever you want. I can see all your chats. I can see all your faces. And we'll go from there. You guys good with this? All right. So this is our new fancy whiteboard. Do you know the whiteboard that I've been training on? Some of you have been with me for a decade, some of you 5 years, some of you 2. That's been the same whiteboard for like 15 years, and it's over there, and I kind of miss it. They've been wanting to change out my whiteboard for like 5 years. I'm like, no, it's my friend. I've been like, do you know how much that whiteboard has made me? Like, we did the 4 biggest launches in internet history. I did the whole thing on that whiteboard, right? So it's still there. I could see her. She's over there. But now we got this fancy whiteboard. Look at this. I can go like this, and I can go like this. Wow, look at this. I'm fancy. Anyway, and we got different slides. I could slide this over, so I could take you down this whole journey. But here's what I want to do today. I want to break this down. Bronze that whiteboard, Dean. Exactly, Kirby. I'm planning on it. It's not going anywhere. Okay, so the challenge, right? We have the time, let's just do TTT, the Time to Thrive Challenge. We came up with the name Time to Thrive. First off, some of you voted for that name. I don't know if you remember, but we put it in a couple. Thank you, Noel. Appreciate it. We put a survey in the Facebook group with like 4 names, and Time to Thrive was one of them. Jen, if you voted for it, Jen Kaufman, thank you. You guys voted Time to Thrive, hands down. It was like 70% of you said Time to Thrive and all the rest of them. So we chose Time to Thrive because it truly is, this is our time, at least in our industry. It is a time to thrive, not a time to survive. And I really want you to hear that. It is a time to thrive, not a time to survive, not a time to wait and see what happens. This is a time to get more aggressive, to overcome obstacles even more, to bust imposter syndrome more, because during a shifting economy, most people sit on their hands. Most people pause. Most people freeze. But if you Google it, why is the most wealth in the world created during a recession? Why do you think that? Why do you think during a recession, so many great companies are created and so much wealth is created? I believe, there's a lot of reasons, I believe it's because so many people get scared to wait to see what happens. And those that find the strength, those that tap into their full potential, Lewis Clark, I see is, right? Those that can move forward, you don't have as much competition. Because most people are saying, well, let's see. Is the president going to fix this? Is Congress going to fix this? Is the interest rate going to fix this? Nobody's fixing shit. Nobody's coming to save us. It's on us. And when you realize that, you have no competition in a time like this. So it is a time to thrive. So that's how we came up with the name. But, you know, so many of you are in Project Next or KBB. You know I teach the wagon wheel of marketing. And that really just means if this is the opt-in page here, right? We have Facebook, we have YouTube, we have Instagram, we have email. Sorry, I should have made it bigger. I'm learning. This is my brand new whiteboard. It's like a new toy. So let me, right? We have, in this one, we have affiliates. You guys are going to see. Do you guys see the Time to Thrive ads everywhere and emails everywhere and affiliates everywhere? It's because we have so many people that Tony and I feel blessed. Him more than me. He's got, hands down, more time in, but we have a lot of friends that we've impacted their lives over the years, and we built reciprocity with them, and we have so many amazing people from like the Jenna Kutchers of the world and Russell Brunson and Brendan Bouchard that tell their list and say, hey, if you're going to learn from anybody, you should learn from Tony, right? So you'll see affiliates, right? You'll see emails, you'll see ads, right? We're running ads all over the place. So really what this is a whole bunch of ways to drive people to register to the opt-in page that I showed you here a little bit ago, right? Pull that up for a second, Mike. Our whole job is to get as many people as we can, oh, it's over here, to register right here, right? Now, you can pull that off. I did a coaching call, a consulting call yesterday with a gentleman. I just want to tell you this. I don't take consulting jobs anymore. There's no time in my life. And I'm not saying this to brag, but I want to share an evolution. About a month ago, I did a one-day consulting consultation in that other room. I'm pointing in our mastermind room. And I got $250,000 for 8 hours. And I crushed it for him. His business, I think he's done 15 million bucks by what I taught, and I wouldn't have taken the money if I wasn't able to move the needle like I had. Yesterday, I did a 50-minute call for $25,000. I don't take because I don't have time. I really don't. There's no time. And if there's extra time, I got to give it to my wife and my kids because there's not a lot left. But I do it when I'm really intrigued. So we get requests all the time, and this is a gentleman who just started a year and a half ago in our space, right here, what we're doing, and he's doing $2 million a month. $2 million a month. And he went so fast, he forgot to build the company under the $2 million. So the revenue's coming in, and now he's like, I'm changing lives, but I got the money coming in, but I don't know what to do. He's totally panicked. But I want to tell you something. The reason I'm sharing this, and I'm not saying you're going to do $2 million a month. It's really awesome that he is, and I took it because I wanted to help him. He has one source going on his wagon wheel. All of his leads, all of his clients come from Instagram influencers. He just went and took that strategy and reached out to 100 different Instagram influencers and said, hey, if you don't have something to sell your audience to help them thrive, to help them do X, Y, Z, why don't you send them to me and then I'll send you a commission on anything I sold. And he did it with so many that now he's got like 50 Instagram influencers driving people his way. So no, you don't have to have this entire funnel, this entire wagon wheel filled out. Sometimes it's just one source. And some of the things I shared with him yesterday is I want him to expand his wagon wheel because you can't do $2 million a month on one source. And I told him to slow down, cut his business in half, and build the foundation. You can't build a big, beautiful skyscraper on a tiny little foundation. What'll happen to it? It'll fall over, right? Iris, I see that. So it was a great coaching call. He was like out of his mind, sent us emails and said, that was the best money I've ever spent. Can I do more of them? I'm like, please, just give me a month. The only reason I'm sharing it, how cool is it that I get to charge that much, but I know that I get to change his life that much, and also what's possible. This guy 2 years ago wasn't in this industry, and now look what he gets to do. So I'm sharing that because it was just one way, and I don't want you to say, oh yeah, of course you got all your wagon wheel figured out. One way. You start with one. You start with one person. You start with one sale. You get that, Jess? I see your smile. Like, you can't look at what other people are doing and say, damn, I'm so far away. It's more like, wow, that dude did it. Why can't I, right? And you got this team. I see you, Carlos, right? Sophia, good to see you. Okay, so this is the challenge. Whatever marketing you do, Maya emailed every single human she knew at the time and asked her to please bring her friends, and found every Facebook group that she had that was similar to what she did and invited people nonstop and got 50 or 100 people to show up. So whatever it takes, wherever you are, you're driving people to opt in, right? That was the page you saw previously. Now, what we do, and we don't have the next page. When people register, and now just so you know, we had about 5 different versions. I teach marketing stamina, right? Marketing staminas don't just settle. We had versions that were very leaning into a shifting economy. We had some that were very aspirational. We had some that was a mix of the two, like, hey, it's a shifting world, but you could thrive. Some was like, recession's coming, are you prepared? Some were just like, isn't it time to thrive? We tested 5 or 6, and we had anywhere between 35% with cold traffic all the way to 50% opt-in rate. And after testing, we picked the one you saw. If you go to if you haven't registered yet, Time to Thrive Challenge, that was the winner. That was the best one, right? So we tested it. Can I tell you something? When this becomes the industry and the business that you're just totally crushing it in, this is all fun. Because sometimes I come up with 3 or 4 versions of the opt-in page, and my team will come up with one, and we'll compete with each other. We'll bet which one's going to convert better. I'll show my wife, I'll say, I'm not telling you which one won. Which one do you think? And my wife, damn it, she's always right. She goes, definitely that one. I'm like, you're wrong. She goes, no, I'm not. I'm like, damn it, you're right. That one is better, right? So it can be fun. It can't be like, oh, I got to test 5 different opt-in pages. Like, no, I'm going to test one. I'm going to let it run for a couple days. And I'm going to test this other one, run it for a couple days, and I'm going to pick the one that wins, right? So we have an opt-in page converting. When you go from the opt-in page, then it goes to congratulations, and then people get to go and upgrade to VIP, right? In this challenge, it's what we teach in Project Next as well. You can build these pages in mastermind.com, right? Is the VIP upsell. Last year, we sold it, I'm going to give you this, for $197, and we actually sold out. And for VIP upgrade, for those that register for the challenge, that means they're on Zoom with us just like we are here today, right? You guys are on Zoom, right? You get to be on Zoom, not just on YouTube or Facebook. At the end of the training, right? At the end of the training, we leave it open for the Zoom room, and we do an hour of hot seats. Day 1 will be Tony and I doing an hour of hot seats. Day 2, day 3, every day I'll take speakers from that day. We'll stay on and do hot seats. So you get Zoom, you get hot seats, you get to keep the training for life, and there's 2 or 3 more bonuses that the team added. In fact, I shot a new training this year because I wanted something that's urgent. They didn't have to wait. So I shot, I think, a 30-minute training, pre-event training, right? So here's the cool part. Last year was $197. People went nuts over it, loved being in VIP. Who was in VIP last year for Own Your Future? Right? Look at Jeff Tucker. Thank you, Donna. Wasn't it badass to be able to do those trainings after and keep the train? So not one person was like, damn you, why would you charge me for this? People were like, why didn't I get VIP? Right? But here's what we did this year. Here's the cool part. This year, and this is Tony Robbins 101, Tony said, let's make it more affordable this year. Let's get more people in VIP. This year, we did it at $47. And here's the cool part. This is something you need to learn. Yes, we did spoil you. Steph, that is a spoil. Yep. But I want to share something with you. Ready for this? Something I learned. The average ticket is exactly the same, because 4 times as many people are taking 47. It's exactly what we thought and hoped. So now we got more people that are going to be engaged with us, more people on Zoom, more people get to keep the training so we can change their lives forever. We get to answer more people's questions and build this family. So we dropped it to 47, but the money is about the same. So I'll give you some metrics right now. It's about $2.70 on average on the way in, because about 4% of the people, 5% of the people are taking this $47 VIP upgrade. Right? So on the way in, before we sell anything, before we offer what we have to offer, we're getting about $2.70 on the way in, which helps us offset our media cost. We're not profitable, but it helps offset it. Make sense? Am I going too fast? Raise your hand if this is making sense to everybody. Great. And again, this is just me. And again, if you haven't signed up yet, make sure you do. Make sure you go and watch all this. I mean, you should be in VIP for $47. And plus, just so you know, what we did this year too, we donate 50 meals to Feeding America for anybody who just spends $47, which is pretty amazing. We're already at almost 1.2 million meals, because we're donating 1 meal for every person who registers here, and 50 meals for anybody who upgrades here. Our goal is 2 million meals, and I think we're going to get to it, which is pretty awesome. 2 million meals at a time. Yeah, can we give it up for everybody who upgraded and helped us with that? Okay, so here's the cool part. We teach this. I got some updates I want to share with you too. I got Maya. I flew Maya here, and I cut Maya a check. Now, she was a student, just like you guys. I cut Maya a check to break down how she launched her business, going from 0 to crushing it the way she is. And that's some new stuff coming, so I'll share that with you. But this is all accessible by you guys, whether you use mastermind.com and a Facebook group. You guys have access, all of you. Everybody here has access to both. Cool? Right? We're not talking about stuff where you have to hire a programmer, spend 15 grand for a website. Everything we're talking about is doable with what you already have. Cool? All right. Michelle, thank you. It's always amazing. What's $2.70? Okay, I will explain. Can you explain your $2.70? Okay, I will. That's good. I need to look over there. Yell at me to look. The $2.70 means, so 10% of $47 would be $4.70, right? So 10% of $47, we're at about 5%. Okay, so let's do the math so you understand. 5% of the people who register take the VIP upgrade at $47. Do the math. What's 5% of $47? 10% would be $4.70, right? 5% would be $2.35. So probably like 5.2, let's see, that's my fancy whiteboard, 5.2% take the $47 black card or gold card VIP upgrade, which equates to 5.2% of $47 is $2.70. So every time someone registers here, they're worth about $2.70, which allows us to market more and spend more of Facebook money and YouTube money and not feel so bad spending that kind of money. Does that help? Let me know if that clears it up. Raise your hand if that clears it up a little bit. Okay, I want to move along here. I want to get to this all of it. The next thing, whether they say yes, heck yes, I'm in, whether the 5% who say yes or the 95% that don't, they come to a confirmation page. And the confirmation page is what's next, right? That's always the same. What's next? Go get your butt in the Facebook group and start playing full out. Put this in your calendar so you don't miss. Go watch this video so you're prepared and make sure. And then fourth, and this one I'll ask all of you guys to do today, is we're trying to get to 1 million. Fourth is share it with somebody in your life, right? Steph, I'm glad you're liking this. Take timetothrivechallenge.com today and text it to someone and get their butt to this challenge. We need to get to 1 million. We're going to be close. I ran the math. I think we're going to get to about where we were last year, about 900,000. So we got a little short. I want to get to 1 million. I want to be able to say I did a 1 million person challenge. Come on, Alexis, you got to help me out here. Get your friends to come, right? So on this page, what you should all do, and Ray, thanks for always joining us while you're in the car, man. On this confirmation page, it's not only what to do next, but this is huge, and about 150,000 people came last year from you guys inviting your friends. On the page, we say right now, take this link and go share it with someone you know. Do we track it? No, but last year, 150,000 people signed up for this, our Own Your Future Challenge, and we have no idea where they came from. So they had to come from you guys referring friends, right? So now that you're gonna go through this, those of you that haven't, or you're already registered, if you didn't witness this, if you went through it quick, go back to Time to Thrive Challenge, re-register, and go through the whole thing. You know what I'm talking about? I see you shaking your head, Alexis. Like, go through it again and be like, oh, I see this. I see the confirmation page. Oh, he did ask us to go do, you invited 3 people. Thank you. All right, you're forgiven now. No, I'm kidding. That's the confirmation page. Okay, you guys getting this? And then, here's my fancy whiteboard. After the confirmation page, and then this is the challenge when it begins, right? This is, say, August 2nd, and this is day 1. What are we doing in advance? So if you are in a Facebook group, and you're going to do a 3-day challenge for an hour each. I'm going to go through my 5 days, and then I'll go through what you could do. What I want to do is I want to get people programmed to show up. I want to give them more value in advance. So every day right now at 11 o'clock, this whole week, I'm going live for 7-8 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes in the Facebook group, giving value in advance. So today at 11 o'clock, yesterday at 11, tomorrow at 11, I'll be giving a 5-minute, 7-minute, kind of like what we do in Mastermind every Monday, but I'm going to give them getting people prepared to show up so I have more people attend. Make sense? So more value in advance, right? You're teaching people how to go vegan or go plant-based. Could be, hey, I can't wait for the 3-day challenge on how to go plant-based and not be hungry. But today, you know what I'd love for you to do? Go in your cupboard and throw out anything that has this one ingredient. Or go to the grocery store and look for this one thing that could take away your cravings, right? It could be just something, right? If you're gonna, learn to find self-love again. Today, I want you to find a picture of yourself when you were 24 years old, and I want you to do X, Y, and Z, right? You're just priming people to show up, giving them real value in 5 to 7 minutes. Make sense? That's what I'm doing. Get in the Facebook group, you'll see it. It's gonna go live at 11. Okay? So that's the value. And then the challenge happens. Don't make fun of my sloppy drawing. I just did this really quick before we came on here. Oh, let me slide this a little more. Okay, so the challenge starts on August 2nd, day 1. Now, I want to take you through our 5 days, and then you can think how you can condense it. Again, when Maya taught this, she did 3 days. An hour a day, that's it. Like 1 hour a day for 3 days, and she absolutely crushed it. And she started out right where most of you are starting out, right? Day 1 for us, I'm not going to try to write all this. Day 1 for us, since we'll have a lot of new people, and make sure you light it up and give them some love on day 1. But since there's so many new people, and this will not bore any of you that are already in, we will remind people why this industry, why now, why them, and give them an unstoppable mindset. Tony's going day one. He is fired up. He is teaching something he hasn't taught before. It is going to crush. And you know when Tony gets on fire, he's supposed to go for 45 minutes. That means Tony will go 90 minutes day one. Can we make a bet? All right, who wants to make a bet? I'm going to say 90 minutes, even though he is, just so you know, on our agenda, 2 hours. Stephen, good guess. On our agenda, he is scheduled for 45 minutes on day one. 3 hours could be, exactly. Tony, it's whenever Tony wants to go, he's going to go. When he feels your heart, if people are playing full out and the chat's lighting up, listen, can I give you a little secret? You want Tony to go longer? All you got to do is just keep hitting the chat up saying, this is amazing, my life is changing, please don't stop. You might be there till midnight. I'm just saying, right? But day one, we want people, and here's how I want you to think about this. You guys are a part of our family. By the way, teaching this is what people pay me 25 grand an hour for, or 250 grand for a day. Like this challenge model, because we do it. I hope you understand what I'm sharing with you. Please don't take this lightly. Like whether you do it now or someday, keep this training I'm sharing with you right now. I'm in this space, I'm living it, I'm breathing it, and I wanted to share it with you. But I hope you understand, though some of you are just in mastermind and you're getting this, I want to serve you guys, but really appreciate what we're doing here, right? You're getting not only the science, I'm giving you the art behind it as well, right? Day one, this is the philosophy I want you to hear, and I want you to watch this transition in people. There's going to be so many new people show up that have never been in this business. You guys might have been that person when you came to Own Your Future. And this is how I picture it. People are going to show up like, let me see what this is about. Like I picture people with their arms crossed. Let me see. And what I want by the end of day one to be like, I want them to start with, I don't know if I could do this. But at the end of the day, I want them to be like, oh shit, I could do that. Right? That's the feeling I want them to have, is from I'm not sure to hell, I could do that. Right? So day one is Tony putting them in the mindset so they show up day two. And day two, we talk about the DOT, and I have a really cool way I'm going to explain it this year and their solution statement and all that. I want them to show up day two like, man, I'm excited, but I don't know what to teach. I don't think I could do that. And then we get done with day two like, well, damn, I could do that, right? That's my whole goal. This is how my crazy brain works, is each day I want them to start off going, well, let me see. And by the time they're done, their arms are down. They're like, well, shit, I could figure out, I could teach that easy. And then, so that's day two. Day one is why this, why now, why them. Day two is identifying their DOT, their niche, and who to offer it to. So I want them to get done with day two, go, I'm fired up. I know what I'd sell. And they come in day three like, but I don't know. I don't know how to market. That's for other people. I'm not that good on video. I don't like to sell. And day three is my favorite day. Day three, I want them to get done. I want them to go from, I don't know if I could sell, to, hell yes, I could serve people. I could sell like crazy. That's my goal for day three, right? So just so you know, this is all value. This is value. Have not sold anything these 2 days, okay? Watch all of this, guys. Watch it because you're going to be a part of it. Day three is value. And then towards the end, I make the offer, okay? Now, day one is myself, Tony Robbins, and Jenna Kutcher. Is Jenna badass or what? I love Jenna, right? She's going to crush it. Day two is myself, Glow Atanmo. She was the #1 rated person last year in Own Your Future. People went nuts over Glow. And Alex Hermosi, who's crushing it. And his story is so unbelievable. He's got so much to share. Day three, I have myself, then Russell Brunson and Brendan Bouchard on day three. But what I will do here on day three is I will take the mystery away of selling. I will turn selling and marketing into service so they fall in love with what they do to get a different philosophy, right? You guys know I've taught you that so many different ways. I want them to fall in love with marketing, and then I say, hey, if you want to continue this journey, then we'd love for you to be a part of Project Next. Now, here's the cool part. For those of you who are in Project Next, or those of you who are in KBB, I'm going to encourage you to stay and consider upgrading to the new Project Next. You don't have to, but about 83% of it we went through is brand new. We upgraded so many pieces. We created, I'll share it with you when we're live. you make the decision. What you have, if you're crushing it, but you get a new ticket to this year's World Summit. 83% of it's new, and wait till you see all the bonuses we created. I want to make it so you guys, like, the iPhone 10 is amazing, right? iPhone 10 is amazing, but you know, they come out with a 12 and it's got new speakers and a new camera and the battery lasts longer. That's kind of what we did with Project Next. We took it to a whole nother level. My team had me shooting so many damn pieces over. We flew people like Maya in and had her share exactly how she went from 0 to crushing it. And other speakers we flew in. We have success work. We have new trainings on social media. So many cool things. Totally your call. I'm not selling you today. I just want to let you know that there's a couple things we're doing. One, it's 83% new. And number two, for those of you who are part of KBB or Project Next, we're putting together a really killer extra package just for our alumni. So we'll come up with all that. So you guys let me know. But that's what we do. Value, value, value. Now, if you're doing a 3-day, like what Maya teaches, it's value day 1 and then value offer on day 2. Guys, make sense? Right? Deliver reciprocity first. Deliver so much that when they get done with day 1 or day 2, they're like, damn, I can't believe Sam gave me all this. I can't believe Jessica did all this for free. Like, my goal is at the end of day 2, somebody looks at their family and goes, why are Tony and Dean giving us so much for free? Why are these speakers giving so much for free? That's the whole goal. So when someone upgrades or buys your course, it doesn't feel like, oh, I got to buy it. It's more like, hell yes, I'm buying. Make sense? You guys getting this? All right. Day 4 is about traffic. Day 4, we're going to teach people. Rachel Miller is going to come in and teach her newest strategy on gaining new followers and building a tribe, building traffic, building a following online. She is a mom of 6. The reason I bring her back year after year, she's a mom of 6, crushing it. I'm a dad of 3 and 1 on the way. I have no idea, watching how my wife juggles, how the hell does this woman, Rachel Miller, absolutely crush it with 6 kids? Zero idea how she does it. And she only works on social. She's committed herself to 1 hour a day. Isn't she, Noelle? She's amazing. She commits herself to 1 hour a day being on social. And she's got a new system that's insane. So I said, please come and share that. So she's going to rock it. And then day 4, we have Mr. Matthew McConaughey that's going to be so cool on how he went from acting and now he's in our space and how he wants to build a course and all this cool stuff. Can't wait for him to come. And then day 4, I will barely mention the offer. I want you to watch this. Day 4, I'll say, hey, remember I told you yesterday, if you guys want in, you have the opportunity. So really subtle. No one's going, oh, I can't believe he made that offer. What they'll be saying is, damn, how could I miss this? Right? That's how I want people to feel. I want them to feel like, how could I miss this? Right? Then day 5, we tie it together. Now, I want you to watch day 5. Day 5, I will reiterate a lot of what we taught so people get this whole thing. Like, how does it all tie together? Like, I'll probably do, you know, the bridging the gap to the dot, to the value, to the, you know, to this, to the wagon wheel, to the value ladder, to say, like, I will tie it all together because on day 5, you know what I want people to say is, oh, I see how this all comes together. Hell yes, I can do this. Right? That's my day 5. Tony will be there on day 5. Anybody remember watching Lisa Nichols? Raise your hand if you remember Lisa Nichols. What did she say? What doesn't live on the same side of the street? Convenience. What was the other one? Convenience and commitment? Oh my God, yes, she was ridiculously amazing. Conviction and commitment. Yeah. Convenience and commitment don't live on the same side of the street. Like, you can't be convenient and committed at the same time. But her training, oh my God, I went and watched it, and it was so good. And people lost their mind over Lisa Nichols. So she's coming on day 5. So I'll go, then Lisa Nichols, then Tony will go. Day 5 is going to be out of this world. And day 5, what I'll do on day 5 is I will answer the most frequently asked questions. Let me get rid of this. Look how fancy. So during these days, people will ask frequently asked questions. If you're doing 3 days, like Maya did. People will say, oh my God, this sounds amazing, but what about when I get hungry if you're teaching this? This sounds amazing, but what if my husband doesn't want to work on love? This is amazing, but my, whatever the but is in whatever niche you have, people will ask it, whether it's 5, 50, 5,000, or 500,000, people will ask those questions. Be observant. Listen. So what I'll do is, over these 4 days, my team will be collecting the top questions, and we'll see what questions were asked the most. Is that complicated? Like, what did people ask? How do I do this thing? What if I'm too young? What if I'm too old? Do I need technology? Do I need a lot of money? Is this for other people? Is it for me? Find out what their questions are, and in the beginning of day 5, I'll answer those questions. People are going to ask questions like, I have KBB, should I buy this? I'm going to answer that question. I'm going to just say, hey, you decide. It's 83% new. If you have Project Next, you might want it because you get a ticket, you get live immersion, you get coaching, you get the bonus. We have this bonus called the Experts Corner this year. Going to blow your freaking mind what we put in the Experts Corner. I put stuff like this in the Experts Corner so newbies can follow the course. And those of you that have already made sales, you're going to want to go to the Experts Corner. Did all kinds of cool stuff. I will answer all those questions here. And that's what you would do on the beginning of day 3. Hey, you asked me how to not be hungry when you go plant-based. Let me tell you, right? You asked about my course. When does it start? It starts in 3 days, right? Answer the questions. Then I'll teach. Then I'll make the offer. Then Lisa will come on. Tony will come on. And then I'll end it with letting them know what the offer is without overselling. You'll see. It'll barely feel like I'm selling. But what's happening here, the urgency starts. And why does the urgency start? Because we are going to start live weekly training in like 2 days after it closes. We're going to have 6 weeks of training before this year's World Summit. Me doing it in here live. That's number 1. Number 2 is we don't do fake urgency. When we close down this offer from the challenge, the same thing you're going to do, same thing Maya did, 5 people, 50, 500, 500,000, is this particular offer that we're calling it Project Next Thrive Edition. It's a new edition. That particular offer with all those bonuses, and wait till you see how many are stacked up. And I push all the speakers to throw in a bonus as well. So we stack insane amounts of bonuses, insane amount of value. That offer with all those bonuses at that price, when this offer shuts down, it truly goes away. You can never get that same offer again. So the urgency will be that the offer is going away and our training starts, which is, I'll slide it down, and our training starts. So you get that you need some urgency, because here's what I want to share with you. And this, I hope you guys are really getting this. I literally wouldn't train this it would take a lot of money for me to train this, because I'm giving away so many of my secrets, but you're our family, and I want you to hear this. On day 3, those of you like me that are emotional buyers, you will buy on day 3. Like, hell yes, I've been waiting for this. About time you shared that damn link. Cyrene, I know, would be right here on day 3 saying, I'm in, right? Sakina, did I say that right? Ray, right? Same as me, Ray. Dennis, like, I'm in. Cool. You explain the value. I'm not stopping. I'm in. Logical buyers will buy on day 5, and we leave it open for like 3 days, after 3 or 4 days. Logical buyers will literally buy the hour before midnight when this offer closes. Do you know the biggest rush is like 11 o'clock p.m. right before we shut this offer off? People are like, oh shit, I'm doing it. That's all the logical buyers that went through the process and they know they need to be in, right? How cool is that? We get to serve emotional and logical buyers, right? Give me the link now. That's right, right? So we will offer Project Next Thrive Edition, which is the immersion, right? That's the course. Let's see. I'm just learning this whiteboard here. There we go. We will, okay, I'm going to show you this whole process. I want you to look at all of it. After someone buys Project Next Thrive Edition, we are going to offer this year, we'll see how it goes. I'll report to you next month. We're going to offer an upgrade to Elite. And all that is it takes this amazing course and it upgrades it, meaning they get a VIP ticket to the World Summit, which adds a whole bunch of stuff. They get an upgraded box. They get all kinds of upgraded materials. Everything is upgraded. It's a pretty amazing package. The team came up with it. It's unbelievable. It's for people who are like me that if I'm going in, I want to go all in. I think it's a $495 upgrade. In fact, if you're alumni, one of the things we give you, don't buy the elite package because we're going to give you that and another big surprise I'm working on, but we'll let you know later. But the elite is just for those people, and about, I'd say 15 to 18% of the people like to upgrade. I do. If I'm going to go all in, I always upgrade, right? But it doesn't take away the value of this. It's just for people that want to upgrade. You guys, don't get lost on me. I know this is a lot. This is like 3.0 version. You might be on 2.0, but I promise this will be the most valuable training ever. Mark it and come back to it when you're ready, okay? Okay. Then there'll be 6 weeks of live training. And what I'll do in those live trainings is every week I'll walk people through the course and get them to take the uncomfortable action they needed. I'll keep them accountable. I'll give them homework. And we'll work with them every week. We call that the repetition, right? And I just erased that. Repetition, right? 6 weeks live. And why am I doing that? Because I don't want people to give up on themselves. I don't want them to get stuck. Think about this in your own 3-day, 5-day challenge, 7-day challenge, whatever you want to do. I want to give them the immersion of what I'm training, but I want to say, hey, every week we're going to walk through this. We're going to answer your questions. We're not going to leave you left behind, and let's get you prepared to come to the World Summit. Who was at the World Summit last year? Was that amazing? On a scale of 1 to 10, seriously, how was the World Summit on a scale of 1 to 10, right? Put it in the chat. I want to make sure people show up. 1,000, look at all the numbers coming in, right? I want people to show up. So this 6 weeks of this repetition is saying, knocking down more obstacles, making them engage, making them get inside the course and do the work, right? And then we'll get everybody to, this is the World Summit. We get everybody to come to the World Summit, which helps mastery, because when you're in a group of 20,000, 18,000 other people, and you realize you're not alone, and you realize all the other people that are in your chat are already crushing it, you realize Tony spends a couple days with us, myself, other speakers, and it's not 2 hours a day, it's 10 hours a day of full immersion. People's lives are never the same. They get mastermind.com, and then it becomes real. I did all that in an hour. All right, come on over. So that is the challenge model broken down, and that is 25 years in the making. I did my first challenge over 15 years ago. And I want you to understand something, and this is what you have in your life, is I did my first challenge literally 15, maybe 18 years ago, and botched it, and no one showed up. And I tried again, and then a few more people showed up, and I tried again, and some more people showed up. And I tried again. And 8 years ago, I did the biggest launch of my life. I did $4 million over a weekend. I was like, oh my God. And at the end of the weekend and $4 million, you know what people said? Thank you. And I just got better at figuring out, how do I do this? How do I impact more people's lives? How? And then you fail, and then you do better, and you fail, and you do better. And now I ramble this off in 57 minutes to you guys. But I hope you understand it took me 15 years to be able to ramble that off in 57 minutes. Does that make sense? You really hear that? It took me 15 years to ramble that off and give you the art and the science. But thank you, Richard. I see you there, man. But there's something in your life that took you a year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years that can shortcut, right? You know, Tony's best words, decades into days. That's a decade and a half into an hour. Right? And now as you go through all these pieces, you're going to go, oh, that's why he's doing that. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. That was a subtle offer, but I kind of want that. Or I'm going to wait, or I need more questions answered, right? Follow this process, and this is your new foundation, and then you could take notes all the way, right? But I just really want you to remember that there is something in your life that you don't even realize that you're already teaching. You've already identified your dot. Maybe you're on the edge, you're not sure, but you got to realize that the things that you think you forgot, you think are not, I shouldn't say, the things that you probably don't value as much as you should are the priceless nuggets that people need. As I was going through that, and if you watch it again someday, you're going to hear the little pieces in between on delivering the reciprocity and when emotional buyers buy and when logical buyers buy, and how do we make sure we don't oversell but we deliver value, and how do we make sure it's urgent, and how do we put a timer on it so people take action and they don't miss out. All those things are 15 years in the making. And I hope we do the biggest challenge in internet history and we impact people in 160 countries all over the world. It is our absolute goal, it's our absolute passion, and we can't wait to have you guys because you're family. So when you're in the chat on day one, say hi to Tony, say hi to me in the chat. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Time to Thrive Challenge. I'd consider, it doesn't matter if you want to opt in again. Go register again and go through all of it now with this new lens, right? And then take Time to Thrive Challenge. Help us get to 1 million. Send it to as many people as you know. I appreciate you guys so much. I can't wait to see you on the challenge. I will look for all your faces. I will call you out if I see you, and let's change the world. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for being with me on this inner circle. We'll see you next time.